Your friends have cleared CA exams ahead of you, and now you are left behind and you have to read the same syllabus. I know it's super frustrating, but in this video, I'll be giving you 5 points on how to deal with this issue and how to keep somehow progressing forward in your preparation. But before I get on to that, do you really think I'm eligible to make this video? Yes, I'm absolutely eligible to make this video because I have been in your position many times. In case you don't know, I cleared my CA at 17th attempt only. So there was a lot of times where the people who studied with me have gone ahead of me and I was the one who was left behind, and I had to put up with the feeling of left behind almost throughout my entire CA career. So the first point I want to talk about is it's never as perfect as it looks. Okay, recently I was invited by a firm to give a talk in their annual function. The talk was okay, and after the talk, we were having dinner, and one of the partners approached me and asked me, "You look great in shape. What do you do as a fitness regime?" So I said thank you, and I said I work out every day. I take very good care of my physical health. And he asked me, "How much do you work out?" I said minimum 40 minutes per day to 1 hour per day, and I run at least 15 kilometers every week, and I do yoga every day. I just gave a quick snapshot of whatever I do as a fitness program for myself. The partner was basically so out of shape, and he asked me, "Yes, I want to look like how you look and get in shape." And I have started doing yoga a lot of times before. I would do 20 minutes to 30 minutes for a couple of days whenever I see a person like you, or whenever there is New Year, or whenever I see some good video on YouTube. I get that motivation and I start a new workout program. I do it for a couple of days, and then I stop doing that. Once the motivation wears off, I stop doing whatever I was doing. I said, "Okay, your intention is all great, but you said you are starting with 30 minutes, 40 minutes every day. So if you are starting from a very rusted position, you should not start with 20-30 minutes every day. Why don't you try keeping it like this, that on day one you just put yoga mat and you just have to stand on the yoga mat for 2 minutes or 3 minutes, do very basic minimal moves, and then you fold up the yoga mat and call it a day." For this, the person reacted, "It all sounds great, I have tried that also, but I just lose hope in after 3-4 days, and I would even spread the yoga mat and I would end up sleeping on the yoga mat." I didn't say anything after that because at this point I realized it is useless to talk to this type of person. But the point I'm trying to convey here is, I looked at the person during the entire session. He was in his early 40s and he has done everything in his capacity. He must have cleared CA very early. He must have joined the firm and he would have done some great breakthroughs in his career. And he was actually kind of a senior partner in that firm, and that firm is not a small firm by any means. It's a very big firm. They have done a turnover of more than 100 crores. So I was just wondering to myself, he has done all the right things to reach at this level in his career. His resume is almost perfect, and he looks almost perfect from financial point of view, from career point of view. But this big person cannot muster himself to install a yoga habit or install any sort of fitness program into his life. So whoever you see, the big personality, including me, whoever you see, who do you think that has sort of figured out everything, who's seemingly perfect, they have got nonsense going on in their life. At least one nonsense they have got going on in their life. It's just that you don't get to see it. Okay, so the person who you see on Instagram or LinkedIn, the person who is your friend who has cleared this exam, or whom do you think that never has gotten anything wrong in his or her life, please understand that they are not as perfect as they look. So for you, maybe as of now, not clearing a CA exam is the only nonsense that might be going on in your life. For the person whom you think and feel overwhelmed about, or you feel a little bit jealous about, They might have cleared CA exams. CA exams might not be a problem in their life, but they might have 100 other nonsense going on in their life. Probably they might come from a abusive family. Their parents might be very toxic. They might impose on extremely high standards. Probably your friend is not just showing it outside, or he might have type 1 diabetes that he has to take 2 insulin shots every day. The possible scenarios are endless. Let's not particularly wish that they should have some nonsense or something like that. I'm not saying that you feel better or something. I'm just saying this point because when we are failing again and again in CA, we feel like it's happening only to us. Like we get into this victim mindset. So only to avoid that chain of thought, only to break that thought pattern, I'm just giving you this point. It's never as perfect as it looks like. So that's the first point. Let's get on to second point. The law of impermanence. Imagine the person who has been ruining your peace. Imagine the person who has cleared ahead of you, whom you think have cleared ahead of you. You and that person might have studied the entire schooling for 14 years. You might have cleared CA foundation together. Now that person might have cleared inter ahead of you and you are left behind at inter level. Now you think that, okay, until here we were having all the things together. Now that person has gone ahead and I am left behind. Again, understand the law of impermanence. For no reason, purely out of coincidence, you and your friend happen to be born in a gap of 3 to 4 months, and you happen to study in the same school for a period of 14 years, and somehow you also coincidentally cleared CA foundation together. And now you have to separate. Your tracks have gone in separate ways. This is eventually bound to happen. Let's say you also cleared inter now, and your friend also cleared, and now let's say you even went together even till CA final, and let's say even you got job on the same day. But what after that? You might buy a house ahead of your friend might get married ahead of you, and you might become parent first. So life is much longer. It goes on till 70-80 years, and there are so many things that might happen in that time. So it is very rare for two people to travel together till the end and without one person getting ahead or behind the other person. So you just have to understand, no matter you might have traveled together on a path for a very long time, the paths are supposed to diverge after a point of time. Take a list of all the phone contacts that you have, your Instagram contacts or your Facebook or LinkedIn contacts, whatever. Just take a list of people whom you think that you are very close right now. Now 3 years later, it's very less probability that that person will be at the same level with you they are right now. I know it's little depressing, but we might have to come to terms with all of these things at least at one point of time or the other. And now might be a good moment for you to develop this sort of maturity, mental maturity, and come to terms with the relationships in life. So understand, nothing is permanent. Embrace the law of impermanence. So that leads us to the third point: count your gifts. I want you to take a piece of paper and take a pencil and write down what are all things that you consider as gifts. What do you mean by gifts? Okay, now can you see me on the screen? Yes, which means you have a good vision. So yes, you have eyes, that's a gift. Can you hear whatever that I'm speaking? Yes, you have a good auditory function. Write that as a gift. So like this, write all the basic capabilities that you have ignored or that you have taken for granted. Write them as gifts. You don't have to worry about the next meal. You had your previous meal on time, cooked by somebody else most likely. And again, if you are watching this video, if you can afford to watch this video, it means that you probably have a smartphone and there is a very well functioning high-speed internet at your home, and you might be probably watching this video inside your home, maybe lying on the couch. You can also write your house as one of the gifts that you have. At least you have roof over your head. Let me tell you, I live in Chennai, and every December we have huge monsoon, and There was two times when it rained so heavily and there were huge floods. One is in 2015 and the other is the last year. I used to take the residence, the locality that I live, for granted until I had those two flood experience. Very luckily, we did not have waterlogging in our area. The cars did not get affected. The two-wheelers did not get affected. The water didn't come into our house. You can go to YouTube and see tons and tons of footage where people have to, lose their cars, lose their bikes, and the people who live in ground floor, their entire house gets flooded. So I'm just giving you scenarios, right? If nonsense has to happen in your life, the nonsense can happen in any sort of way. If you did not have to go to a hospital in the last 7 days, write it as a biggest gift. So the moment you start writing this in paper, and the moment you do, and the time you do it like at least once a week, you will start to appreciate every little thing one by one. Those who have will be given more, and those who do not have much, the further will be taken away from them. The point is, the more you focus on the good things in your life, the more you focus on whatever you have, that expands. So understand the point here. Whatever you focus on expands. The question is, are you focusing on your abundance or are you focusing on the scarcity? I normally approach everything with a rational, scientific mind. I like to look for research. I like to see the evidence. But this thing that I'm telling you, this abundance mindset versus scarcity mindset, be honest with you, there is no research supporting, backing this, but I have personally experienced this. Until I was 25, I used to operate from a scarcity mindset. The moment I started shift towards abundance mindset, the moment I started looking with the things that I have, whatever I have, start to appreciate the things that I have, count the gifts that I have, then the number of gifts that I had started to increase slowly, because I changed my focus from lack to presence. So whatever that I have, I started getting more of. So that leads us to fourth point, define your good work. So what do I mean by your good work? So for me personally, it is to give. What do I mean by to give? I want to help people. So don't take it wrongly that I am here to do charity or anything. I still want to make good money, but in exchange for that, I want to deliver at least 10 times of value for the money that I get. Every morning I get up to give to people. Give in the form of lectures, give in the form of videos, give in the form of counseling, give in the form of my time, attention and energy, right? So to give to people, to do that work properly, I make sure that I have to take care of myself in a very, very good way. So I live in a certain way. I try to go to bed on time. I try to sleep on time. I try to eat properly. I try to work out properly. I want to live my life in a certain way. If I let chaos come into my life and if I lose the order that I have in my life, it will show in my work the next day. It will show in my work in the next week. So I defined what I have to do. That's my good work. And to be able to do my good work, I prepare my body and mind accordingly. So I want you to again take a piece of paper and write what is your good work. Maybe my guess is you must be between the age 18 to 21. At this age, your good work could be to get up every morning and pursue excellence and just make sure that you give your best by the end of every day, and you have to keep repeating that maybe for the next 3 months, 6 months, maybe for the next 1 year. So that's your good work. So you define your good work and write it and go back to the good work every now and then. So keep asking yourself, are you giving your best? Am I doing my good work today? Or at least am I preparing my mind and body to be able to do the good work today? So what do I mean by that? Let's say, again, you have gone into this complaint mindset, you have gone into the scarcity mindset. It kind of paralyzes your body, it kind of paralyzes your mind. Therefore, it disables you from doing the good work. If you keep complaining every now and then, if you keep comparing yourself, and keep looking at the person on the next line, how will you run in your line, right? So I hope you get the point. So fourth point is define your good work. So the last point of this video is trust the timing. You understand the nature of impermanence. You understand the fact that nobody is perfect. You understand the fact that you have to define your core work system, good work system, your purpose. And then you just have to keep playing the time. Time can be a greatest ally or time can be a greatest enemy. So if you are going in the right direction, time becomes your ally. There are a lot of good choices that you can make in a day that puts you in a very, very favorable position in another 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. That's basically this whole channel is all about. You do all those right choices, whether it is keeping the smartphone away in the next room, whether it is to set the table up correctly, to clear the clutter out of the table, whether it is about using the first 6 hours of every day and making sure that you get enough rest during the second half, during the afternoons of the day, and then scoring much more in the evening session. All these small things that I have discussed in this channel, you apply them one by one. You pick one, apply for a week, pick the next one, apply for the week, and then you keep applying all of them every day, and you just play the time. Give yourself 3 months, 6 months, and wait for the result. But let's say you keep applying all the points that I mentioned in this channel, you keep doing the good work every day, even deep inside your conscience that you are sure that you have given your best, and let's say still you didn't clear, then it is not meant to be happening as of now. You just have to understand that your timing hasn't come yet. Let me tell you, I used to be this guy, this extremely ambitious, that I don't believe in fate and all that, and I can control everything in my life, that just the universe dances to my tunes. I used to be that type of a person. But having failed in CA for 14 attempts and having seen all the people in my life go ahead of me has just taught me one thing. There is a higher power above you and you are not invincible, and that higher power knows better than what you know with your limited knowledge. So if you think you have a career plan, the higher power has a better plan for you. I'm not getting into religion. I'm not talking about God or anything like that. You can be a person of faith, or you can be you need not be a person of faith. That's totally fine. I'm just saying a higher power. The higher power can be anything, can be universe or anything. But that higher power has a much better plan for you. Let me tell you, had I cleared my CA final when I was 21, let's say everything happened at the right time, I would have probably got a job right away. I would have been married by 24 or 25. I would have bought a house. All that's great. But would I be doing whatever that I'm doing currently? Would I have become the person that I am right now? The answer is no. I would have had an extremely different perspective about life. Again, I would have been this arrogant prick. But having failed so many times has helped me get grounded, develop the character. Because I did not clear my CA in first attempt, I happened to meet my life partner at 2016. I cleared my CA in 2017. Then I got into a job at 2017. I settled all the debts by 2018. I resigned my job and came out of corporate 2020. I wrote this book 2021. I opened this YouTube channel 2023, and here in 2025 we are talking right now. And as of today, I am developing a course for CA students, and also I'm writing the second book for CA students. So I have not earned much. Doing all these things comparing to what you normally see on Instagram or LinkedIn. I make decent money, but not ridiculously great amount of money. I'm totally okay with that. Every night I go to sleep, I sleep with the satisfaction that I have lived the best way I can to live the life on my own terms, to give and be of use to people. That satisfaction is priceless. That satisfaction, that excitement wakes me up every morning so I can be of use to people. I understand it's getting delayed. Maybe it's for a better reason. Maybe it's for a better reason. Who knows? Maybe you also might meet your life partner another 2, 3, 4 years down the line. Or maybe you might meet a great business partner in another 3, 4 years, and both of you or three of you might, come up with a great startup idea, and you can imagine your career, skyrocketing to some other level. The possibilities are endless. Again, let me tell you, the possibilities are absolutely endless. So wait for it, and until then, keep doing the good work that I defined and just keep playing the time. And by the way, a lot of you have asked me where you can get this book, because you said you are not able to find this book on Amazon or Flipkart. Yeah, that's because I have delisted this book from both the e-commerce platforms. If you want to buy this book, you can only buy it from me. So in case you want a copy of this book, you can reach out to me on the given IDs. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you and bye-bye.